As part of my teaching in the electronic engineering degree programs, we have MEng, Master of Engineering programs, which runs for 4 years. So in their 4th year, the students get to do advanced topics, stuff like advanced electrical and electronic studies, where they have to write feasibility studies. And the feedback for this kind of courses, so it's not a taught module, it's more like you give tutorials and then you have to give them a piece of coursework, which you say to them, now in groups of 3 or 4, do a feasibility study about this new technology, for example like nanotechnologies or bioengineering or bioelectromagnetics, how does it influence the world and so on. But one of the major issues we have with students, especially engineering students, is that their English level is very weak. Which means when they write technical reports, they tend just to put results, numbers, bullet points, and they finish. But here they don't understand the major difference between feasibility studies, where they have to do a thorough analysis and feedback and background, a survey, get together, ask people, or the difference between that and just putting results and conclusions. So we always struggle with the first task we give them. So it's 3 tasks within the semester, and the first one usually we get the reports and it's very weak. And this is my first experience. So the following year, what I decided to do is that say to them, okay, and this is something you learn from doing the teaching and learning courses, which is the PI, which is the feedback principle, which is you have to be positive, use improvements and examples. What it means is positive is that when you first get the coursework, and it's the worst thing you can do to a person is that say to them, oh, this is really rubbish, and I don't understand why a student in your level can do it, because this just destroys them and they don't want to do anything further. So the first thing positive is I say, you approached it right, you did, for example, referencing very well, and I give them good feedback first, and then go slowly through the negative feedback. So after the first piece of coursework, give positive comments, then follow that with the negative comments, and not only negative in a point that it helps to build up on the second assessment. So it's trying to improve it. So it's the second part of PI, which is improvement. Saying to them, you've done the literature review in this way, but wouldn't it have been better, because it's a feasibility study, to do a survey asking people what they know about the technology, or ask experts, because now you have access on the internet, you can ask the professors, lecturers in the Queen Mary, we have multi-faculties and so on. So in the second submission, usually the students tend to do much better, and they achieve an average of B, or some of them A actually. And also another thing I learned as well is an example, because from the first time I did this course, we received a feedback, which is a complaint basically saying, we don't understand this course because it's based on us doing a mistake and then they correct it for us, but we don't have example. So what I decided to do is find a good report that's done before in previous years and say to them, this is what we expect, or near what we expect. And this group, for example, they received an A. So we want something similar to that. But you have to put in mind that this is a different topic than yours. This is a different way they approached it, so you could approach it from a different perspective and write something very good. So we use an example here. And then once this is complete, which is positive feedback, ask them to improve and give them an example for something good, and understanding this is mature students in their 4th year, they also wanted to know how fair is the marking, because this is myself and another lecturer marking it, and they're saying, it could be depending on if you like the group of students or not. Well, we always encourage the point that we're fair in marking. So what I said is that I'll give you this piece of coursework. Group 1, you'll mark group 2, and group 2, you'll mark group 1. And if you mark them within 5% of my marking criteria, then you'll get the highest of the marks for each group. Because then they understand what's the marking criteria and how do they actually mark a feasibility report. Because they read it. Because I said to them, the whole point is you enjoy reading the report. For example, if you start with a report with an abstract that says this report will cover A, B, C, and that's it, no one will get interested, because you're talking about a technology boom in the new era. So it has to be exciting. You have to put some figures that excite the reader and make the reader want to read the most of the report or all of it at the end. So I think this, which is I implemented just towards the end of the course, really it was really effective, and the feedback was really good from the students, and their report writing skills improved vastly. I have to admit that, yeah. And most of the exam boards and so on, they notice actually that that when the students writing improve. And what I'm suggesting now is that we implement something similar at the beginning, first year. We ask the student to write a feasibility report or a technical report about general technology, but it has to be written in the correct format and using the right level of English at first year levels of university and so on.